the voting compartment.
In the final, numerary officers was selected by the PPPC. A list was sent to them to choose those persons, and the CEO Vishnu Prasad CEO office along with his cousin
sit down at home, decided to watch some TV, listening to the news like Gordon Mosley. I listening to the things that he say he tracking tonight, paying close attention to make sure I hear it right. But when I hear the things that he mentioned on the news, I had to declare them kind of thing got me confused. I hear some things where the ERC noticing, and it convinced me that people ain't learning nothing. We hear so many times about them big name calling, and they say ERC pretend that they didn't learn nothing. But once you're black and you just decide to say a word or two, bet your life on that they say ERC coming for you. Listen to the things you just hear on social media. Only one set of people allowed to talk in one Guyana. I still say nothing, black people in learning. But this is my concern. I hope one day black people will learn. ERC that I would like to know, if any of its members happens to be black people. And if that is the case, I want them to answer this call. Tell me how come none of them ain't got no voice at all. You're showing signs of weakness and you're afraid to be fair, and we see the same thing happening year after year. And the day will come when all this nonsense will stop. That will be the day when black people decide to wake up. Not so long ago, something terrible happened. This young Indian man want to kill out all black people by poison. But if his shoes was on the other foot, would have been a big threat. But up to this day, this ERC can do nothing as yet. How come it's only black people committing cybercrime? When pretty on social media fussing people all the time, I still saying black people in learning. But one day will come when the entire table will turn. Issues we see they fail to condemn, because these people think that the law is only for them. And anybody else who decide to file a complaint, they go call you a racist and don't want to hear nothing. Plenty complaint from time to time has been brought to their attention, but because of this one-sided cybercrime is why they don't show any concern. There's only one set of people that they really care about, and black people must take the abuse and shut them out. Kidaki Amsterdam went to court just recently for an issue that was highlighted by the same ERC. And with breakneck speed, the police decide to jump on his case. Without a search warrant, they went and search up the man's place. Let us all agree that black people under attack. Different laws for you and me just because we black. I still singing. Black people in London. To all my black friends, we must put a stop to all this nonsense. Cybercrime laws to keep people silent, just to make sure nobody criticize this government. And while that is a very clear case of dictatorship, it is no surprise that the ERC ignoring it. Why only the chosen few is allowed to have things their way, when people like me and you must have nothing to say? And when ministers in the government start to launch their attack, you never hear this ERC come out and talk about that. They send a policeman all the way to New York. This fella went up there to serve a cold summer man with forward. Under this this government decide to fabricate a case, but like they forget the warning they get from Latisha James. The vice president described that he use as a low life. Because of this kind of abuse, he don't have a wife. I still singing. Black people in learning. Just the other day, I would a man see help is on the way.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in town, you're looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work. But everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place, or you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent the hall. You can rent the hall, honey. You can rent the hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But you know, whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Dam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. Put it on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, you know, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you. All right, so you might be wondering where we are. Still in Buxton at Club Twilight. That's where we are. So Club Twilight also has like an Airbnb as well. So you could come, drink, drunk, and come in the back here and lie down. Look at that. Look at that. Perfection. And the people come in the room and so on. The bed sheet matching the blind, matching the carpet, matching the this, matching the that. We know but we things in Buxton don't play with we. So definitely, if you want to come and you may be having a wedding or whatever, and you just want to overnight and just have a good time because you're gonna be drunk, we got too much road accidents. So you definitely want to come, drink, have a good time. They have several rooms that you can rent. You have your toilet, you have your bath, you have your sink, you have your dining area, you have the bed. This is nice. I like it. Anyways, to my friends and my family, if you're looking for me, I'll be overnighting. Also, for those persons who are traveling in from overseas, you want a nice, cozy place out of town, then Club Twilight, call them up, look them up on social media. They have their own Facebook page, and ensure that you come up the side and have a good time. Have a good time. Have a good time. I'm sorry. That's it.
How many bowel movements do you have a day? If the answer is one or less, we need to talk. Everything starts in the gut. Toxins, bloating, constipation, even parasites can build up silently, affecting your mood, your skin, your immune system, and your energy. Ultra Body Cleanse is a simple 15-day system. Morning tablet to flush from the inside. Nighttime tea to detox and reset. People don't realize it, but most problems start in the gut. And when you clean it out, you feel lighter, you look healthier. You finally go. Like you should. Don't wait for symptoms. Ask your artist distributor today how to start your Ultra Body Cleanse.
Are you looking for tents to rent? Well, look no further. At Easy Party Rentals, Sideline and Buxton North, we have tents in all sizes and colors. All sizes of tents we have. Small tents, big tents, medium tents, extra large tents. Call us on 622-5933. We have what you need. Easy Party Rentals. Big on tents. Are you looking for tents to rent? Well, look no further. At Easy Party Rentals, Sideline and Buxton North, we have tents in all sizes and colors. All sizes of tents we have. Small tents, big tents, medium tents, extra large tents. Call us on 622-5933. We have what you need. Easy Party Rentals. Big on tents. Are you hosting an event? Do you need ice, party ice in large or small quantities? Then call us at 622-5933 for the best party ice available. $1,000 per bag. We do delivery. EC Crystals, Sideline Dam, Buxton North. Call to have your orders filled today. Planning a party? Worry no more. We have all the supplies you need. At EC Party Rentals, we have folding chairs, folding tables, square tables, round tables, long tables, short tables, big tables. We have chairs, red chairs, gold chairs, white chairs, crystal chairs, chairs of all type, throne chairs. What you want, we have. Food warmers, coolers, ice, beverages. At EC Party Rentals, we have what you need to have a good time. You plan the party, we do the work. Call us 622-5933. Easy Party Rentals. Let's keep your party going.
All right, so today we are here at Club Twilight up in Buxton, and we are here to talk about all that's going on up here. Trust me, if you are on the East Coast, you're in Buxton, you're in Tongue, you're looking for a place to get away to, this is the place. The Cutters, mwah. Listen, I'll be having some just now again. We'll talk about that. And then, of course, the ambience is beautiful, fully air conditioned. The decor is on point. The music's on point. Everything's on point. It's just me. I need some work. But everything else that belongs to this club here is on point. So if you want to find a nice little place where you can just drive out of town and have some drinks, have some food, you can call, you can order your stuff and just take it. You don't have to stay. Or if you want to stay here, that's what's up. And of course, they have special events for Valentine's. You can rent a hall. You can rent a hall, honey. You can rent a hall for weddings, for birthday parties, to have a bash. I hope he edits that out. But you know, whatever it is, this is definitely the place to be. So it's on Sideline Nam. You definitely want to ensure that you check this place out. But it's on your to-do list. All right, on your to-do list. This is definitely the place to check out, a really cool, chill spot here in Buxton. I like this. Buxton needed this. We needed this. I needed this. You definitely needed too. Thank you.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop located in the East Rheinveld Market Meat section. Call us on 609-7168, 641-4494. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop for the best in fresh cut meats and lots more.
So what by? All you do? May you support the coalition like me? Very good. Very good choice. Because the coalition putting people first. But let me ask you something. You check for your name on the list yet? Well, partner, you got to check for your name on the list and show you there. So you go put the vote next to the palm come the 1st of September. Let me show you how to check them. In a hard, man. You just got to go up on GCOM website. When you go up on GCOM website, you go see this thingy. You see them? That GCOM website. You just got to scroll up or scroll down, whichever one you want to call them, but you try to go bottom of the page. And you see this red and white writing here, Resource Hub. Click on that. Once you click on that, you will see general and regional election for September 2025. Scroll up again. And then right on your left hand side, you see query tool. Watch me click on them and it turn blue there. Click on them. Good. Now you read the page there. They ask you online. They tell you about online tools, query your registration status. All them are said check to see if your name there. You can put in your ID number and you can search by ID number. But me I want to give you my ID number because not for you too fast. Now what my ID number. Me go search by my first name, my last name, and my date of birth. So me put in Kidaki Amsterdam. Me put in my first name Kidaki Amsterdam. Me put in my last name. Right? And then me go put in my date of birth. But again, me don't want to mind my business. But me go put in my date of birth. But are you watch me face good and proper? Me, I want coalition supporter because the coalition is putting people first. Right? When we don't put in my date of birth and you don't put in you want to click on search by particulars. When you click on search by particulars, this is how I go come up. You see revised list of electors and so on. We watch your name there right there. Me name there right there. When you scroll down, me name there right there. Occupation, teacher name, Amsterdam, Kidaki. Address, 9 section C, Buxton. District 4, Demerara, Mahika. Division 421-127C. Buxton Village, Friendship Village, south of the railway line. I tell you, man. No one background side, man. And me stay strong. Me as support the R.B. Norton for president and director of finance for prime minister coalition, the APNU coalition. Because they got policies that are people-centered. They're putting people first. So when September 1st come and you go in the booth, now whether all of them just come, Johnny come lately, and all of them will tell you stupidness. Put your X next to the palm. Palm them out. You know what I'm saying? Let me show you what the palm look like when you put your X next to. In case you don't know. What's the palm there? Put your X next to the palm and vote strong for the APNU coalition, because we put in people first, and when you vote for we're going to ensure, you vote going to ensure that we get rid of the nasty, dirty, stinking, thieving PPP party and give you the best opportunity in this country that you ever had. So vote APNU, but before you vote APNU, remember you have to check to ensure that you're named upon the list. So go GCOM website, go check them. Okay? Me gone. Me left for you. But spread the word. Spread the word. Tell everybody how to check for their name and tell everybody to vote for APNU.
Heart is what you want, and so you have to stop talking about people's face and how they just walk and how they just dance like robot and all kind of things. Look at the heart of the man. I mean, they say you could see a man's face, but you can't see heart. But his actions can indicate to you what the heart possess, right? So this morning we have in studio with us Dr. Paul Williams. Dr. Paul, please and thank you. Can you put on your camera? Because you are now.
Yes. You hear me, Kadaki? Morning.
Yes, I'm hearing you, but I'm not seeing you.
Okay. You see me now?
No, your camera's still in there.
The camera's on, at least.
All right, now I see you. Welcome to the program. How are you, buddy?
Pleasant morning to you, Kadaki, your viewers and listeners. It's a wonderful day. Not a great day in Guyana, our beloved country.
Very well, a wonderful day indeed. As long as you get up and you pull the first breath, you say, hey, boy, this gotta be the best day in your life and make it.
Yeah, that is so great.
Make it by. So, Paul, I know, let me address you by your full title. But let's get your name because some people using a name that they ain't even work for. You went out through the courses of nursery and primary and secondary and thing, university, and you eventually end up with the doctorate, and so on. So you know Dr. Paul Williams. A lot of people previously might have said, which policeman gonna be doctor? Policeman gonna be doctor, policeman is still commission and so, right? But I dare say it's good to see that there is a group of policemen at least who have gone through the paces over the years to educate themselves so that they can provide better service, I dare say, to the citizens of this country, even in the line of policing. So congratulations on that. I don't think I ever told you that. One of the things, when your name came up on the candidates list for the APNU, I know that was a big surprise to a lot of people. So by way of introduction, tell us who Paul Williams really is and what inspired you, I would say, to join the Aubrey Norton Jail to Finance led APNU.
All right, Albert, Kadaki, I born and grew in Bedford Acton, still living in Bedford Acton. And I attended school in Georgetown. Also, I attended school on the East Coast. I went to Allen's High first, but then in those days, transportation difficulties and, you know, the challenges there and then. Sometimes I had to be transported to school with my brother because my other brother used to work with Guybridge then. So I had to get out early, get on the Guybridge truck to get it dropped to school. But then my mother looked in terms of how fatigued it was, and we decided to seek a transfer. And then I went to Annandale Secondary from third form. And there's where I completed my secondary school. And during the time at school, I was a national athlete. So also that gave me popularity. And from school, I do my work study stint at the Guyana Defense Force, Air Corps. I stayed on after work study, but then I did not stay in the Guyana Defense Force because I was very fearful in terms of going into the interior to train. And I decided that I'm gonna leave. I went to the post office, I worked there, But then my passion was always there for policing. And then I left post office and I go and join the Guyana Police Force. And there's where I stayed throughout my career for almost 38 years. In my growing up, it was always been, that directive coming from the parents and the old folks. Education is important. Get your education. So while in the force, I never lost sight and focus of that. So every opportunity that presented itself, I went and get myself qualified. And one of the reasons to really drive my passion to, because when I joined the second year into my service, I applied to go on the cadet officer course. But then in those days, they were very selective and choosy because you had to really truly come from a type of connection and lineage, because maybe only one or two persons used to get on that program with the GDF. So I attended the internal interview within the force. But then when the time come for me to be sent, I wasn't selected. But then I said, that would not stop me from keeping my eyes on the prize in terms of getting to the top. So I decided I'm going to get myself qualified. I attended the University of Guyana on 3 occasions thereabout. I know, yes, because I did a diploma in public management. Then I went on to do law. And then I do a postgraduate diploma in legislative drafting. And then from then, I started to hit the highway in terms of getting myself qualified. I obtained a master's in criminal justice and executive leadership from the University of Walden in the US. And then I pursued my doctorate at Atlantic International University in Hawaii. Now, the thing is that in my time in the force, I work around several areas. Most of my time spent in training, but I command around the country. And I'm always a people's person. My career started as a traffic man, so that would have made me interact with a lot of people in the streets and so on. But I always had that passion to serve, and I've served with excellence. I really put the standing order and the laws into operation in terms of dealing with members of the public, try to be, kind, know when to help, know when to be flexible and all these things. So with that is a brief background as it relates to my upbringing and my career. I came on board with politics because I looked at Adriana Young's situation, and I've seen to the level where the force has been destroyed. I've seen things before, because I can tell you there are other things. Even there are information that I know and I have, even when they were plot to get me out of the way and all these things. But I choose not to really get involved and on board with that, because with my old teaching and with my upbringing, my grandmother and my mother used to always tell me, and even my father, they said, know when to pick your fight. Right? Know when to pick your fight. And I never choose to really get entangled or in battle with any politicians or anything as it relates to what I felt I had deserved them. Because I feel proud to the level that I have served. I know in terms of my character, my reputation, and my integrity that I have, and I guarded, I felt so good about it. So I realized that if at a juncture I choose us to get into battle in terms of securing the position of a commissioner of police, I know definitely that would have been very challenging, and it might have still been a stumbling block in terms of preventing me from moving forward. And I didn't want that. And then I know that things can happen. The court can rule that, yes, you're entitled to, but you can only get the benefits and may not even get the opportunity to sit in the chair. And what sense it makes? I wanted the chair so I can sit and serve with distinction, and to see that this country were being kept properly as it relates to law and order and public safety and security. So I realized that, if that's what the government of the day want, whoever they choose, and that is what they want to work with, well, that's it. But I know at some stage, the people of themselves is going to see exactly the wrong or the injustice that is being done. Also, members of the force, they've seen it, and today, it has presented itself more and more. It's like a runaway train. So with that, when I saw Adriana's young situation and I realized that, look, the police force has really, really, truly failed our society and more so 11-year-old child, because I can tell you from now till when our program will not be enough for me to tell you the amount of training that I know there are members of the force who have been trained. They're trained by the US, by the Canadian, by the French, by the British, and we have people in the force who are capable and competent to deal with any level of investigation. We don't need no RSS. I'm telling you, we have sent people overseas, and even recently, my classmate, Julius Wright was sent overseas to assist with an investigation, I think in Grenada or one of those islands, when a premier or somebody senior had got themselves involved in some situation there. So we have people who are capable. But the question is, where are those people? Those people are away from the office or the place where they ought to be to function. I've seen persons who you've sent to train in Texas with dogs, because those persons had to be out there for almost 3 months with their dogs and return with their dogs. But I saw those persons on the street working taxi. When I asked them what happened, they said, "Sir, these people ain't serious. The men moving you all over and leave you from your dogs and these things." So we decided that it doesn't make sense, right? I saw persons who are well trained in crime scene. We have the Justice Education Society from Canada, who spent lengthy times, I'm telling you, years upon years. They have been here almost like running into about 6 years there about. Because when they came initially, I was the point person who they have dealt with because I was in training. And I was a person who helped them to shape all the training. We reviewed the laws, wrote for amendments and all these things. When you see it comes to this same thing like video analysis, video recording evidence and all those things, I played an integral role in all those things. But now when I look to see to the level of force investigation is going, I'm telling you, it is so bad that we no longer gain that recognition and respect across the Caribbean or international. And I'm telling you, in my time when I travel and I go all over, I used to be proud being a member of the Guyana Police Force because we were recognized. Persons highly respect us across the Caribbean because even when we go to forums, we can deliver, we can interact, and on a wide base because there is so many information. I'm the one who was able to be instrumental with the US to bring virtual learning into the Guyana Police Force, the virtual learning space. Because why? We were looking at it relates to budget. Budgetary aspect was very, very costly in order to send a group of policemen to benefit from training overseas. You could have only sent 1 or 2. And during my discussion through the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative with the US, I was able to influence them and convince them that the virtual learning space is going to do well for us because that is going to cause much more members of the force to be exposed to international training. And it was done. Guyana was the second country in CARICOM who had that virtual learning space. Trinidad first, and then Guyana second, because I had visited Trinidad to see Trinidad set up, and Guyana came second. And then after us, then it started to go around to other countries. So you have the exposure now in terms of, in the virtual learning class, you can have 15, 20 members, and then you have the lecturers from overseas doing the presentation and everything and so on. They'll be given instructions. When they come back, they do the presentation and all these things. And then also, there were arrangements for resident or in-country visit, where the lecturer will come at some stage, they will visit, then they will run a workshop to ensure that, yes, the learning takes place, very effective, and operationalized. We have, when you listen to Mr. Conway and Paul Slow, right? Those 2 retired assistant commissioners, those guys really, truly bringing out a lot of information and exploring the whole aspect from down all the way up as it relates to what the force ought to be, where it's supposed to be, what are the things supposed to be happening. There's a group from Washington which myself and Mr. Conway, we would have worked along with those people. Okay? We work along with them. They spent almost like about 3 years here dealing with modernization of the Guyana Police Force, because that was under the Citizen Security Program and the Citizen Security Strengthening Program. And there we had like about almost 40 manuals that we developed locally that is capable and designed for Guyana Police Force, Guyana cultural diversity aspect, Guyana Police Force community relations, trainers, so many things. They're right there. But those things are being thrown in the corner. I heard that they're gone now to do back someone, right? So passage training and all these things. You have so many information there, and they're not using them. They're not using them. When I interact with persons who just came out from training school, and even some of them who have been promoted recently, when you ask them some elementary things, they cannot relate to it, because why? There's a big gap. There's a big gap. So that of itself affecting the type of service being given to the public. So those are the things that I'm really, really passionate about. And I came on board because I felt from this position, I can able to make a positive impact. And when you look at it from the perspective, not an impact just personally to the Guyana Police Force, it will have rippling effect, because if I impact the Guyana Police Force, it means it impacts the society positively. If I can be here now, just as on your platform speaking, I can able to enlighten or educate the public. That of itself creates an impact in terms of how the public behave, how the public conduct themselves. So coming on board, that is the reason why, because when I look, I see things are falling apart. Our standards are deteriorating. Look at our young people. In my time, our young people, there were several opportunities for them. And I said it on the platform. I never went to a community high school, but I live in a village that had a community high school. Many of my friends then went to community high school. And when I visited them to see what they were learning and what was happening in community high school, I'm telling you, I'm going to use the word mildly, I was jealous of them, because I now can be able to tell you it was hybrid. They were learning theoretical aspect, they were learning academics, but yet still you're coming out with a practical skill. They're not nobody passing through there and you're not coming out with a practical skill. So when you come out and you hit the road, you already are partially capable of going into the field of work. And that is what is bothering our children. I'm still in the village. I can tell you from observation what I've seen. And I interact with youths. And they're telling you, "So, Uncle Paul, by the time we meet second farm, it didn't make sense because, depression we had, and they may have got nothing else really for we do and these things and so on." The thing is that in every village, in every town, in every district, people are unique. People are unique. So the way how you're gonna do training in BV doesn't mean it's the same way you have to carry the training in Buxton. The way we're gonna police Jarshang, you cannot police Borbies. The way you're gonna police Borbies, you cannot police Essequibo. So these are the things that are to be taken into consideration. And if the government really, truly have persons within the various fields, social worker, probation officers, okay, even the police to some extent, well engaged with the community, and they have these statistics, these are things that can be able to guide them and to make right decisions, shape right policies. Numbers don't lie. It is there, okay? And once you have those type of information forthcoming, it will help you in terms of shaping your policies and how you're dealing with BV, how you're dealing with LBI, how you're dealing with success. But you can't say, because this is how we shape this for BV, well, this is going to be for the entire East Coast. So what it is important for us to understand is that when we're going to deal from a policy level, it is important that we have the relevant information. We need facts. We need facts. And the facts is in front there, but they choose not to really work with it or bother with it. In Adriana Young's situation, the facts was right there, looking at them, staring at them in the face. But they choose not to worry or to bother about it. Then now how are you going to really, truly win the heart of a society when they see a police force is keep failing them more and more in that aspect? You think many of them doesn't know exactly what ought to be done then? But then who gave the instructions? Who direct what must be done when and how? I haven't seen some basic policing approach being taken there. So I don't really want to spend much time on that, but I'm just showing people the type of things that is there. The evidence is right in front of us. Look, our youth. I can tell you, I go to Success, I go to LBI, I go to Marco. They ain't got no village in this country I can't go. Because I know people all over because of my policing career. From school, I have classmates and so on, and how I deal with people. My name is Household. I can go all by town anywhere. And when I go to Success in those places, I'm telling you, the young men there, many of them are in the super bed. And it's not only Success alone, but I'm just trying to bring it out to let people know in the Indian communities, these things are happening too. People are in the super bed from the morning all the way into evening. They're not going to work. And that of itself brings problem. It leads to social destruction. Because when you go to work, you can't make earnings. What happens when you get home? It brings problem. There's where you get domestic issues. What happened to your children who you have to be there to fortify for? Nothing. So eventually what? The mother got to send them out for child slavery. They gone early looking hustling for $1. The mother now realize that you ain't doing nothing, money incoming. She got to go now and find a job. And what job is them for there now? Security job. And when they're doing security job, they're away from their children. Because if you, the father, not showing a responsibility, when the mother gone now doing security job at nights, you think you're going to be there looking over the kids and see that they do the schoolwork? No, you still gone looking for it or rustling. So this is where we have a great breakdown in our society. So when we look now to see in terms of where we want our youths to be and how we want to steer and direct them, it is because of the system, because of the policies that we have. This is what is failing our people. So that's how you see the turnout being delinquent. And we know, yes, in the aspect of delinquency, it has its boundary because delinquency stops on the border when you become an adult. But then some of them, because they're not being rebuked, they're not being guided, there's no proper institution to correct that behavior now, it moves over into the bar and they're gone into criminality. And that's why many of our children now finding themselves facing the law. Kadaki, every day when I go into the court, I'm telling you, I see people line up from the bottom of the stairs of the court all the way into the courtroom. And it is sad. It is real sad to see our young people, this where they're spending them time when the day come. When I look to see in terms of many of the matters, persons are charged and placed before the court. If they can afford lawyers, many of them will walk free because many of them are walking free, but they cannot afford it. They cannot afford it, and there's where the justice system now failing them. You know, many of them might have been in Lusignan and Camp Street there, but they have to wait so many years before you can say, well, listen to me, the charge is bad. There's not enough evidence. Or the police would have made several missteps in their investigation. So this of itself break the chain of custody as it relates to the evidence or what's. But then we don't need to wait until then. We need to salvage it now, talk to our youths, get them now. And this is what I want to do, to speak to them. Don't wait until you go before the court then to know that you're doing something wrong. Hear the voices of people like you, Sherrod Duncan, Paul Slow and Clinton Conway, and several other persons who are getting onto this program and speaking to them. let them understand and get them act together. And with all your contributors who come on your program in the morning and speaking out, calling on them, they need to understand this. And I'm asking the parents, guardians, and all others who is capable enough to let them know, talk to them, direct them, say, listen to me. These are the programs you must listen to. Yeah, we know social media has its advantages and its disadvantages. But yet still, in terms of our calling, we can appeal to them to really, truly get their mind focused and set in the direction where it's going to help them in this society today. Our society lost. Sunday night, Sunday when I came from the rally, I drove on Carifesta Avenue. And when I looked at the seawall, there was some activities, but there were a major activity going on there because I see lighted stage and all these things. And at that time of the morning, after 1 or minutes or 2 thereabout, vehicles park all over on the road, all on the roundabout. I had to navigate myself very safely to come through because you have these motorcyclists and all sorts of crazy things were happening there. And I said, look, but for me, I'm saying this is my view. You think the police, then you see that? The command center can't see those things on the cameras? Senior people who are monitoring those operations not see what is going on? But I'm saying that they're allowing it to happen because they want to paint a face to the public and the world. Who are the indisciplined people? Who are the indisciplined people? Look the faces of the people who are indisciplined.
And so, Dr. Williams, I hear of all the failures, the issues in the society with policing and so on. The question is, what is the fix for the police in terms of policing and policing properly? A lot of allegations have been made that the police force is now so compromised that it is considered an arm of a political party. Do you agree that that is responsible for the degradation of service of the police force? And what is the fix? What do you recommend as the fix? You're part of the APNU team. I assume you might be perhaps able to advise in that area. Who knows? Some people say it might be the next Home Affairs Minister. But the question is, what would you say is the fix for this current situation? Is it deliberate to start with? And where do we go if we want to rectify it?
Now, the thing is this. In order to fix the police force, I always see an organization like a family. The head of the family can really reflect in terms of what will be the conduct of the children or the home of itself, because we know that definitely within the family, many times you'll find that the children, the wife or whoever will conduct themselves in keeping with what the head of the home so requires. So the leadership ought to be looked at. And then also we need to look to see what causing the deviation from the set standard. There's something called performance gap. The thing is that we know what ought to be done. We know where you are presently. And what is preventing you from where you are to what ought to be done, what is happening between there, and that is what we need to look at and correct it. And there are several things happening between there. And just what we've seen recently, an overburden of promotion, which brings a breakdown in discipline. I'm a sergeant for 15 years, or I'm a sergeant for 12 years, and I've been disciplining you as a constable. Your record reflects how indisciplined you are, or abusive you are to your superior and what's not, and so on. And then the system comes now and promotes you to inspector, and you gone above me. You giving me instructions and you don't even know what the standing order says, what the police act says, what the police discipline act says, what the Constitution says. Okay? What it is to deal or to look after the welfare of so many ranks under your command, and so on. But then you're an inspector. It is important for we to understand these ranks are not there just basically to fraternize or just to masquerade about it. Even in, let me go to the scout. You look at the scout and the structure of the scout, and in terms of persons earning their promotion and their rank, it comes with responsibilities. Same thing with the police. When you attain the rank of a sergeant, you have become the backbone between the junior ranks and the gazetted ranks. So there are lots of things you have to know administratively. How to instill discipline, how to do a conduct report and all these things, how to make recommendations, how to consider bail, how to make determination as it relates to evidence for a charge. Whether you recommend a man should be sitting in the lockup for 72 hours because, yes, there will be evidence forthcoming before 72 hours and he's going to appear before the court. So becoming a sergeant is a very, very responsible rank. So those are things that we have to look at. When you overburden the force in terms of promotion, who's supervising who? There's a quota system. There's so many constables, there's so many corporals, so many sergeants. How are we really dealing with that? So I'm seeing it in terms of how things are operating. It is a recipe for disaster. It is a breakdown in discipline. And definitely, it's going to make things worse than really truly bringing things back or correct it. Because what you'll find happen, there are still a lot of disgruntled persons because there are persons who feel and there are persons who have proof that they should be promoted and they're not. But here it is, there are persons who've been promoted. And then definitely the persons them who are not being promoted, the persons who can carry the work, what will happen there when they sit in or when they report sick? As we said, when they jam, what happened there? So right there and then, the organization becomes more tarnished, the public being deprived of the service that they deserve, and the society keeps suffering. Because here it is a man who's a sergeant or a corporal coming to you to arrest you and doesn't even know the reason or can tell you what the law says to arrest you. Here's a man who's a corporal or a sergeant coming to conduct a process in terms of serving a summons, and he doesn't know what it is to deal with a return of summons and so on. So we need to understand what are the gaps and how we can address it. There's several ways those things can be addressed, but I would not wish to really truly make it public. You understand? And even some of the members of the public, and I show some of the viewers who might be ex-police, ex-military, and so on, they may very well have contributions that they can give towards that can help to really truly bring about the correction and bring back the Guyana police force. But I know for sure, definitely, once those ranks remain around and we get into power, we get into government as of when we get into government as of September 1st, those same ranks who are well trained and who are capable and still able-bodied and ready to perform their duties, those ranks will be replaced because there are lots of training that's being employed upon and expended upon those persons. When I learned about the situation as it relates to the loss of exhibits, cocaine, and so on, right? There's a rank who are well trained by the Canadian to deal with those same major store management in terms of dealing with the movement of exhibits and all those things. The Canadians even build a storeroom and install it at CID headquarters there. When I inquire where that rank is, I don't know. I'm saying exactly what I learned, that the rank is being sent to perform duty at the abattoir.
Dr. Williams, let me ask you, all of these, I call it misplacement of ranks, trained ranks, specialist ranks putting them in places where they really and truly cannot utilize this skill. You think it's bad management practice, or you think it's a deliberate effort to ensure that they don't solve crimes?
Well, it comes from two angles. It comes from deliberate action, and also I can say that yes, it is bad management practice, because the thing is that if you're sitting there and you recognize that you're not seeing the type of production forthcoming in terms of what you expected, you start to inquire. Why we falling down in this type of investigation? Why we getting bad crime scene management and these things? And then you will know exactly, well, oh, Mr. Amsterdam is no longer there. He's being transferred to X place. Why? Who transferring? Oh, well, he turned up late for court which day, and that's why I say he must be transferred. And that is why you transfer him without even, consulting with your senior commander, whatever the case might be. Because the thing is that if persons who attain the rank or position to be in command of divisions, subdivisions, let me come to the subdivision levels and so on. If they don't do management by walkabout or getting their ears and eyes on the ground, these are the things what's going to be happening. And if certain things keep happening and they're not really truly taking the right approach, well, definitely something is wrong. There's something called instruction classes, where every fortnight there ought to be a discussion, what is happening, shortcomings, and these things. So I feel there's where things are falling down, or even if those things are happening, those informations are not properly monitored, looked at, and looked to see what are some of the problems and how to address them.
It's 16 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. I know you have to run. I see you glancing at that time ever so often. And there's some a few important things I need to ask you. First and foremost, as a candidate on the list, police are going to be voting, or the joint services will be voting in a few mornings from now. What would be your message as a former senior policeman and as a current candidate on the APNU AFC list? Why should the police vote for APNU? What is in store for them when the APNU gets into office?
Yeah, the police force and the joint service as a whole, I want to take that privilege to. They have seen from 2015 to 2020 the trajectory and the direction that the coalition was taking the services. Okay? They see that where fairness, respect, integrity, and all those things were being addressed, right? Also, they would have seen that where in the senior command and even the national awards and all those things came back into operation. They would have seen that persons were being promoted on their merit, on their performance, and also as it relates to the prerequisite in terms of the promotion qualifications and all those things. They would have also seen that in terms of where promotion comes, it was being done with the recommendation of their immediate command, and not somebody who just sitting in headquarters and saying, oh, promote Jack tomorrow, promote Mary, promote Paul, promote who. And then when you see in the same area or the persons being promoted, there are persons who with scores of indiscipline. So they would have seen a lot of fairness were taking place. They were seeing that the welfare were being taken care of. They were seeing that they were a process in terms of their matters and to ensure that things are being done in the right way and no one is being treated in any bad way or treated outside of what is required by law, by principle, and by standing order. So the police force and the discipline service, they ought to know and to see with those things, the evidence are there. There will not be any type of superstition where persons have superseded people who were in the lineup in terms of being given their due promotion, their due office and appointment. Everybody knows from the time you join the force, you know that definitely your regulation number brings you into seniority. Then from your regulation number, based upon your promotion, brings you into seniority. Okay? And people know that definitely those things. People know the next thing too, you need to get yourself qualified in terms of knowing the organizational work. And then supportive now with your external qualification. Those are things which can really truly help to put you on the right trajectory. So with coming for voters of the joint services, you people seen the evidence. A lot of you have suffered a lot of injustice, but you choose to stay because why? This is your daily bread. I know lots of you have mortgages. I know lots of you have other financial commitments, your children at school and all those things, but you need to make the right decision. I know some of you in receipt of land, but cannot even build a home as yet because there are so many challenges, but here it is now. You're being given an opportunity where you will have a rent-to-own home. It doesn't even require in terms of telling yourself that it cannot be affordable. It will be affordable. It is yours at the end of it. Here it is, you've seen that APNU already stated immediately upon attaining office of September 1st, you will be given a 35% or thereabout increase and so many other things. Also for attending universities and other institutions, you'll be given a stipend to do that, $50,000 a month. Here it is for your children, $10,000 a month grant. So there are a lot of finance coming into your stream of operation and management that you can able to take care of yourself and feel satisfied. Feel a good life. That you don't have to be on the road and there, asking or begging anybody for anything, or not even for left for water and these type of things. When I drive down the road, I've seen police in lines, line up. And at the end of journeys or so on, I will hear what other commuters and drivers on the road are saying, what they're out there. I've never experienced it because they know me, and some of them, even if they don't know me, maybe because, how I might be looking or so on, but they never ever approach me or ask me for anything. But these are the type of things I'll be hearing in circles. So you don't have to be out there doing that anymore. I know lots of you are under pressure. I know lots of you have to do things against your will or your desire. Okay? But remember, and I'm sending a message to you, you shall stand and fall by your records. Officers, joint services members, you will be stand and fall by your records. It is important. So if you know at any time or at any stage, you have to do something that's against your will, please, because many a times, even I don't really want to say much about it, but in the court the other day, there was a policeman who doesn't know the difference between a lawful order. He doesn't know the difference between a lawful order and when he's being asked a favor by his superior. He doesn't know the difference. So please know when you're being given a lawful command, and you will know definitely whether it is appropriate to act, because if you act and you act unjustifiably, you will have to answer. And coming up to the election, remember you have a duty to ensure that every citizen being given the opportunity, the right to exercise their franchise in voting. Don't let nobody in any polling station lead you up to that for you to deprive somebody that opportunity. So therefore, when the situation presents itself, you more try to de-escalate rather than try.
It seems as though Dr. Williams has a connection issue there. I hope it is resolved quickly. Yes, it is. Good.
When you're at the polling station, your duty is to be there from opening to the closing of poll. When they're doing the recounting, you must be inside the polling station and not outside of the polling station. And make all your notes, make all your jottings in your pocketbook. You must know all the persons who sit there and representing each party, get the names, get the polling officer name, the polling clerk names. So everybody there, you must know. Also, at the end of the tally, and when the final figure is being mentioned, you must have those information written down in your pocketbook. Because at some stage or the other, at some time, you may be able to be of a good witness to address or to assist in that situation. So I'm calling on all the members of the joint services to ensure that you maintain a professional stance throughout the entire exercise. I received some information last night that private security will be playing an integral role in terms of policing on election day. Joint services members, please do not allow that happen. It is a police, and we know that definitely when the situation seems or meet to the level where there's assistance needed, the GDF come on board. But do not allow the private security to get involved in your operation because they can create problems for you. They can create problems for you. Don't allow it to happen. Don't allow it to happen.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. It's 26 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. You have some more time to spend with us, or you need to scoot?
Well, I can give you maybe a 2 minutes more, so and then I wrap up.
All right, good. So I will give you that 2 minutes to make any closing remarks you would like to make. Any general closing remark you would like to make.
Yeah, well, the thing is that with my general closing remarks, the election is here. Let us no longer debate or worry about that. And I'm appealing to our people, the young people too. I want you, not at this time or moment, to be flickering your mind or thinking. The evidence is overwhelming in terms of how much this administration has failed you. Definitely, there are some people who they did not fail. And those people are the persons who benefited. Okay? So you will have persons who are going to step out there and said, yes, the government did well for them and what's not and so on. But the thing is that I don't think and I don't want to hear Guyanese speaking from an individual perspective. We must be able to talk collectively from all race what the government has done for Guyanese. And that is what APNU will be doing for you from a Guyanese perspective, not selective. Not selective. There are persons that are saying that, we have hopes. We have hopes that things is going to change. We have hopes that the coalition is going to win, whatever. But the thing is this. With hope, look at it, and I want you to understand this. Hope requires a collective and a common focus and goal. Hope is not individual. When it comes to your individual focus, that's not hope, that's your desire. But when we talk about hope, it simply means that all of us are succeeding together. We all in the same direction and focusing on one goal and objective. And that is for a change in government. And all of us is going to vote APNU in order to bring about that change. It's not for you to take a gamble at this time. Your future is at stake. Your children's future is at stake. And if we don't maximize this opportunity now, thereafter, persons will have to live with those severe consequences. So we are the ones who can really, truly stop this and bring Guyana to the place where we all can live happy, where we all can be treated equally, where we all can be respected, where we all can see that the law is not selective, but it is operating and functioning on a balance. Okay? So I'm appealing to you. There's no longer any time now for you to still thinking or trying to bogle your mind around this whole arrangement. It is here. And let us be serious about it. For whatever you might be in receipt of, or whatever you might be in collection of, I'm telling you, that is only temporary. That is only temporary. You need permanent things. You want to ensure that you can work, you can earn, you can save, you can able to provide, you have in the time of needs. When a situation presents itself, we can be there to embrace each other. Okay? You want to see justice. You want to see a Guyana for all. We want to bring back patriotism. We must be able to bring back our people to understand what it is. What is the value of Guyana? So that is my message to you this morning.
Thank you very much. One simple question before you leave. It's an easy question. You serve both under the PPP and the PNC/APNU government as a police officer. Would you dare compare them in terms of who seem to have a better plan to fix this morass? Let me ask it this way. Which of the two governments, if I say, you have confidence as giving policemen or the police apparatus the free rein to do policing?
The thing is this. In 1992, when the PPP came to power, I was a corporal of police. Okay? And I've worked all the way through until 2015 when the government changed. In the time of my policing career, throughout that time, from 1992 to 2015, I've never really encountered any political problem with the PPP. And I want to say this. Under the stewardship of Minister of Home Affairs Clement Roy, I can tell you, for me personally, I have seen very, very good leadership and very, very good command in terms of our policing operation and everything and so on. I had personal engagement with him and so on, and I'm telling you, he was someone who you could have interacted with. He would listen, and also he would have given you the opportunity to do your work and to do the right thing. At no time, at no stage, I can say I have any encounter where persons would have called me and to tell me not to do my work the way it ought to be done. You understand me? But as of 2020, when this government came back into power, you understand me? Leading up to even just before they're being seated, there were several things that I learned what were likely to happen to me if the government changed. I've seen it in black and white, and I've heard it in words. But I always felt that I'm professional. I've never ever find myself aligned to any political party or any politician. I did my job professionally. This is it, that is it, and straight. So when those things were being said, I looked at it, in a way of saying that, listen to me, when the time comes, the persons them who are afoot in making a mischief, when the government sit, should the government change? Because I never knew what would have been the outcome with this recounting and all those things. But I sit in my car and talk to myself. I said, should the government change? When they sit and they look to see all what was being said and all was being peddled, they're going to come up with the analysis and with the evidence, if it is there or whatever it is, and they're going to make a decision. So when I was sent home, when I was sent on my leave, my 192 days leave or so, you understand me? My 192 days leave, let me make it clear, was not under Granger's time, President Granger's time. My 192 days came since under the PPP, there's where my leave built up, and it's not because I never wanted to go on leave, but because of the level of responsibilities that was on my shoulder. I was not allowed to be away long from work.
When I was heading out for my graduation with my master's, I applied for 2 months leave. I was only given 2 weeks. So it's not that I never wanted to go on leave, but every time I applied for my leave, that was being told, Paul, you know you play an integral role in this organization. You have a lot of responsibilities. We cannot allow you to be away too long. You know that you're the man, point man with the people them overseas, with the US, the Canadian, the British, and all these things and so on. So that is how my leave accumulated. So when I was sent on leave, and the thing appears as though like I was sent on leave because I've done some wrong or misconduct, it's not about that. It's what about the mischief that was planning, that they need to get me out soon as they come in. You understand me? So that they can pave the way in terms of what is happening now. So when I was sent on leave, it was leave that accumulated since back then. When I proceeded on my leave, when I'm at home, based upon the information what I received, that the investigation that is going on with me and so on, I felt good about it because I said, you know what? For all the lies and information that I see was moving back and forth between the politicians and those in the force, they will find out that one day what they're saying is lie because they could not bring no evidence to the table. So when I was receiving information, yo, these men are gunning for you, they're doing this, they're doing that, I said, son, let them do it. Let them do it. Because I felt at the end of it, it would have been a process where they would have really find out saying here, man, oh yeah, tell me this about this man, where the evidence? And it's not so. And I would have returned to service. I would have returned to service. That is how I felt. So I felt good when they were doing all the investigation, when they were checking and seeing all what they could have find. But it turned out nothing, but yet still, they choose not to bring me back. You understand me? So I realized that definitely it is already set. That is the purpose and the mission. And there's no way in terms of whether I'm clear or not, but they just do what they have to do. And I said, well, okay, that's it. But I'm not going to leave. I'm going to serve out my time because that is what I joined for. I joined and I said, as long as I live, I'm going to serve to the end, and I stay to the end. So come back to it. I have not, from 1992 to 2015, I've never ever encountered any type of political challenges or attack or bombardment or anything coming from the PPP administration, and I was working with them. I've made them look good. I've made them look good in every aspect and every area of responsibility. I command Essequibo, I command Borbis, I command West Demerara, I command the East Coast. Everywhere I go and I commanded, I made them look good. And their people could tell them, because a lot of their people, when a lot of their people heard that I was sent home and I was out and all these things, a lot of them approached them and told them, say, yeah, I can't do this, man. The man is very professional. He's a man who look out for everybody. You can talk to him, you can approach him. He does his work on the balance and everything. But they will want to come to the public and say that.
Thank you. It's 22 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. See you on the campaign trail.
Yes, thank you. And, thanks to your viewers and listeners. And you all have a blessed and wonderful day. God is good and all the time.
All the time.
His justice and his righteousness shall prevail.
Thank you, Dr. Williams. And
Okay,
so, viewers,
Dr.
you've heard Dr. Williams, and you've heard all that he had to say. I guess you are in a better place of knowledge now. And for those of you who are connected to the joint services, you have heard him put forward some of the reasons you need to support the APNU. And I dare say, I agree that if we want to turn this situation around, not only for the police, but for public servants in general and the citizenry as a whole, the only option. All of your votes must go for the APNU. Any place else you're voting to keep the PPP in power. Because I have not seen any other political movement, save except the APNU.
Yeah, you listen to the program?
That can remove the remove the PPP from office. The lines are open. I always give you the opportunity to have you say. We have about 21 minutes, so the lines are open. You can send your WhatsApp messages or you can call and let's have a little chat. You've already inputs, like I said, of Dr. Paul Williams. The Working People's Alliance will take its meeting to Perfect Harmony tomorrow. Caller, you are on. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yes.
Sitting as voters. There is a difference between hope and expectation. And we expect this bad police culture to be changed. We don't want to hope for that. We expect constitutionally, based upon human rights, based upon what we have suffered under extrajudicial killings, based upon international standards. Dr. Williams, I heard you got your doctorate from Hawaii, from the United States. So we expect you to impart some of that so-called first world standards to Guyana. We don't have to follow the United States 100%. But you would agree that the way the Guyana police force is being conducted for the last 28 years is unacceptable on human rights standards. The international community has said that. Everyone knows that. So because I see that we tend to be in a rut, a lot of police officers, Mr. Williams, talk a good talk, and they do nothing, including the Granger administration. Now, President Granger did better than the PPP. Clement Roy was an absolute failure. Just ask the State Department why his visa was taken away, together with Green's visa, Commissioner Green, both abject failures. But yet you bring them up, Mr. Williams. I don't know why you brought Clement Roy up. So that makes me wonder, why are you supporting Clement Roy?
Kofi, I will ask you respectfully. I asked Dr. Williams for
brother,
his
let me say this, please.
Kofi, don't interrupt me if I choose to interrupt you. That is where we have our issues, brother. I still remain the host.
Go ahead.
I asked Dr. Williams for his experience, and what Dr. Williams has shared with us is his experience.
Okay. Can we give you our experiences as citizens suffering under extrajudicial killings?
With due respect to my guest. With due respect to my guest.
So, okay, let me ask this. When do we, the people, get to share our sufferings?
You're missing the issue. I don't stop you from sharing your experience. What I don't want you to do is attempt to denigrate my audience.
I am not denigrating. Okay. I am not denigrating the doctor.
Who dare you to ask the doctor why he bring up Clement Roy when I asked him for his position? For his
because
experience.
he spoke to because he's
brought
speaking
up
to
Clement
us.
Roy in response to my question about his experience.
And we are the ones receiving the communication. So we have a right to respond.
By asking
Don't we have a right to respond?
Listen, get to your point. I'm about to lose my patience.
You shouldn't lose your patience because I'm the voter.
And I don't necessarily need your vote, sir. I said every single day, I don't care about political power. My fight here is the people.
And that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Changing a system that has been in a rut. Police have been facilitating the system, and they need to be told that it's unacceptable to continue to facilitate it. And that's my objective. For as good as we support Dr. Williams, he is part and parcel of a system that refuses to change. And that's the objective here, that they must be told that they must change that rut. This is not about a particular individual, Mr. Amsterdam. This is about a system. Dexter Todd talks about the system needs to be changed. We are voting here about a system.
I sincerely wonder what you were listening to, Coffee. Your time is up.
Thank you for taking the call.
Call you on. Good morning.
Now you are ready because Mr. Williams, you interview him, everything. Why this guy had to come in and make his own opinion? This is the problem we have. Anyhow, I want to make some few comments quickly. We all know that the police force is corrupt and incompetent. So all what the PPP did was everything they're doing is in a rush and a hurry. They don't care. What am I saying? To promote a lot of illiterate people who don't even know what about and all some other things, you know? People would now join for their promotion. Now people with their years and years, they never get promotion. These people so incompetent and, you know, bombarded. Now, I don't have to see the video last night, but the person leaked out. But I want the people to tell us about the goal with the smuggling from Venezuela. I wonder if a lot of people know that still. And it's playing that they're protecting Venezuela. These people are so hypocritical and wicked. You understand? And people will find them out. You understand? I want to tell people, tell the nation about the goal with the smuggling and come from Venezuela. You understand? But the Travis Chater, the person interviewed last night. Right? But the video will leak out soon. And they need to tell Guyanese what they're doing. Kind of wicked and ignorant and nasty. And we need to get them out. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your call. Let me say this, and I like to, when I say certain things, I like it to see my face. According to Valletta Klein, I'm arrogant. I take pride in my arrogance. I take pride in my arrogance. Because that same arrogance provides a platform for a lot of you to behave like know-it-all. And even more arrogant than this arrogant host. How do you invite someone into your home and allow someone else to attack them? Especially when the attack is not warranted. Dr. Williams didn't say that the police force is a peach. He identified all that was wrong with the police force. And he gave a few recommendations, and he did say, I can't say everything. I asked him about his experience serving under both the PNC, the APNU and the PPP. He responded to that experience. And in responding to that question, he mentioned Roy at the time, who was the Home Affairs Minister. We might not like Roy. I definitely don't like what Roy did as Home Affairs Minister. But that doesn't mean that Dr. Williams did not have a positive experience with Roy. He was sharing that experience. I don't stop you from coming to criticize Roy and say all that Roy did as Home Affairs Minister and so on and so forth. But I challenge you to dare ask Paul Williams, Dr. Paul Williams, why he brought up Roy. And if you believe you have that right, then you are just as arrogant and even more arrogant than I am. And if you support anybody who believes that they have that right, all of us are arrogant alike. And I will take pride in my arrogance. You ain't gonna come into me house and disrespect my guests. You know, they said give an inch, you take a yard. And sometimes I blame myself for making this program such a liberal platform. I believe in democracy. I believe people must have their say. But people, like I say, people have rights and responsibilities. People have rights and responsibilities. I am giving you that right, that opportunity to express yourself. But you also have a responsibility to be respectful in doing it. The lines remain open for 10 minutes. Some of you won't like to see arrogance. Because arrogance, they'll just hang up the phone. Call you on, good morning. Call you on, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Amsterdam. I am giving you the opportunity this morning to unleash your arrogance on me. Let's come to Dr. Williams.
That's a show of arrogance. I just unleashed it. Lines are open. 6225933 is the number to call. Go call the critics, says somebody. Call you on, good morning.
Good morning good morning, Brother Kadai. Good morning, all the viewers and listeners. You know, piggybacking on that conversation you just had with or that explanation that you just gave in regards to Brother Coffee speaking about Dr. Williams. You know, that like you said, that was Dr. Williams' experience with one particular person in the PPP government. And I could share an experience I had with another person who is the devil, who I think is the devil right now. And who think all of us think is the devil. That's the Commissioner of Police. There was a situation that I had with him where I did a business with an Indian woman, and she stole a car from me. And she went 2-3 o'clock in the morning because I bought the car from her. And she had another key for the car, and she came at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I had the car parked on the road in front of my house, and she stole the car. Anyhow, a friend of mine tried to shift the car to, I think it's Northwest. I think somewhere, it was going to Tiwari, Togo, wherever it is on the street there, to be shipped in the bush. And called me right away. I went and we found the car there, and the big story and so on. Got the police involved and so on. Anyhow, it went to Breakdown Police Station. And we all were explaining our situations, and she was talking, I was talking. And because she's a woman, one of the police, I think it was an inspector, something like that. He decided to, you know what, you got to go behind the bench, you got to go in the lockups and so on. You know, and for some reason, I didn't even realize that this man was in the presence there as well, who is the same commission, the now Commissioner of Police, Clifton Akins. I don't know what he was doing at the particular spot in the police station. I don't know what he was doing there. Because I think he might have been the commander or whatever. I'm not sure. But he's the man that saved me from going lock up. He stopped the situation. When the police was trying to take me at the back of the counter to put me in the bench to go in lockups, he put his hand in the way. He was like, let me hear your story. And I told him what happened. And he asked her story. She told him what happened. And he said, yo, that is Mangala anyway. And he sent me out of the station. So there was a situation where the devil saved me. So what Dr. Williams was talking about, he was talking about an experience that he had with an individual, not the old PP apparatus. We know there are good people in the PP apparatus, right? We know there are good people in the police force and everything, but we don't need to paint all of them with the same brush. So the view, I think Brother Coffee need to understand that this person, Dr. Williams, wasn't praising the PP apparatus, the PP government. He was talking about one particular experience he had with Clint Rohi. Thank you. That's my time.
Thank you for your call. Call you on. Good morning.
Morning, neighbor. My brother, I like your constructive and respectful arrogance because sometimes it is needed. Because the works that is put out and require us to come in and then reveal how we see it and how we feel that it should go. That's not right. So I just applaud how we handle the situation with got a coffee, and there is it. That's it, love.
Thank you for that call. I think we got some voice notes. Call you on. Good morning. Call you on. Good morning.
Good morning, Kadaki. Keep the good works up. Keep the good works up. We have to continue to speak to the young people. But today I want to speak to mothers. Today I want to speak to sisters. Today I want to speak to wives. You know, I want to speak to women today. And I hope that when I'm finished, that it will take a little time off and think about what I'm saying, if it makes sense. Now, the PPP is a misogynist government. For some, it means misogynist means a government that hates women, a government that is disrespectful to women, a government that is strongly biased against women. And that is true. The PPP have no regards for women. Now, even the other night on the meeting, there was a guy who was talking about if you're a man and you're going to go straight up on something and whatever, and he said a woman when you slam up and you're going straight up and all this kind of thing. This kind of disrespect, this is disrespectful to women. And I'm telling you this because way beyond where I go, before 2020, they were disrespecting women. They were disrespecting women all the time. And it begins from the top. And even now, from 2020 to now, it gets triple times worse. The entire government is disrespectful to women. And I don't know if women are not seeing that. The abuse that a woman has to go through to get a job in the PPP government, and the way how they treat their wives and other women. I feel for them because I'm a man who respects women. I respect women a lot. I came from a woman, my mother, you know. I can't see why women will allow themselves to be treated in this way and still running and going to vote for them or to be on that side. You know, listen, now in 2020, even women in the PPP changing to men to disrespect women. I don't know. I don't know what is going on. If women lower their standards anywhere, in any community, in any country, if the women folks lower their standards, then men will take advantage of it. Women have to hold themselves to that high standard so that the man will have to come right. And he got to come straight. And if he can't come right, he got to reload and come again before he could get, involved in a relationship with them and so on. I don't mind that things are hard and so on and so on and so on. But if you hold your standards, then it will show that in this government, no women get a job and so on. And then people want to know why women are not getting a job in the PPP government. Then they will say, then it will come out to say that women are disrespected. They have to lie down and sleep with them before they get a job. And women don't want to do that because they are lowering the standard to that. So the world will see that. But saying that now to say, lastly, is that you girls, you women, you mothers, think about it and think about where you're going to put your eggs when it comes September 1st. Think about which party respects women. Think about which party is going to put women back in a place where they're supposed to be, where a man has to come circumspectly before he could get involved or engage with them. And so that's all I want to say today. Thank you.
Thank you for your call. Yeah, the reference that the call was making to erection, to resurrection, and time up till they caught up is the utterances of Leonard Craig. Dr. Hines described him as bottom liquor. And even if you wanted to reconsider that definition, then you have no choice but to go right back there. The lowest and crassest. The lowest and crassest utterance from one who offers himself as a leader or for leadership in this country. And I continuously say to you, the PPP offers you a set of child abductors, rapists, misogynists, murderers, disrespectful people. That is what the PPP offers you. And so Leonard Craig had to ensure that he fit right there among his kind boys of a fellow flock together. He had to fit into the flock. So he had to go low. And his handler, his dog handler, Jack Dio, sat there and was smiling and perhaps was cheering on. That is what our black brothers have brought themselves to. All in the name of self-serving, serving themselves, serving the masters as they see them. Because they can't see them as seeing them as anything else. Grovel at their feet. But that's an aside. That's an aside. We still got voice notes to play. It's 2 minutes past the 9 o'clock hour. I wouldn't be taking any other call. I'll be playing a few voice notes I see there. But this morning I've been very arrogant and I'm playing tit for tat. I saw somebody say without the callers, there will be no show. This might be a show for you. This is serious business to me. And I know that there are other programs where people don't get a second to call in. But those programs have been around and they're still around and they're still doing a good job of disseminating information. So let me bust your bubble. Even if you don't call, there will be a program because I'll be here talking. And so sometimes I'm tempted to meet your arrogance with your arrogance. Because I can do that. I can go any level, keep telling you all that, and I've demonstrated it every time. But y'all take me for granted. And sometimes you put me in the position where I have to say these things. A lot of people take me for granted. Because you can call my phone at any time, I will answer you. Even if I don't answer you when you call, I will return your call. I will find out what is the issue. I will walk the distance with you. So much so that some of you ain't even got respect for my, as I would say, personal time. All over the night, y'all is gone. But you know what? I chose this. I chose servitude. I like to serve. I've been doing this since my teen years. I keep saying. And I will have it no other way. But I will not have you or any of you disrespect me or any of my guests. I won't have it in the name of service or in the name of servitude or in the name of being humble and in the name of being labeled nice guy. I had a brother, my eldest brother used to say, all them good man's sons are dead. I want to be a good man. Because when people label you a good man, for the most part, they think you're stupid. I ain't stupid. And if you all thought I was stupid, y'all want to be here anyhow. Hello, good morning. Welcome to another program of Guyanese Morning Time. It is now 8 o'clock. A minute to the 8 o'clock hour on the 13th day of August in the year 2025. Welcome to the program. I in a kind of mood this morning. Y'all won't believe me. But oh, y'all there. How was yesterday? How was last night? How y'all feeling? What y'all think about these elections? What's going on? What part are you playing in mobilizing the base? What part you are playing in mobilizing the base? Now the base will be mobilized, you know. Everybody are learning about the tapes. Listen. I don't know who released the tape with the interview that Travis Chase did, but what I know, what I know is in any other democracy, they didn't have no elections, you know. The government would just pack its things and walk out of the country and tell the Guyanese, you put who you want in there. I mean, I'm being extreme. But in any other democracy, there is no way a party like the PPP could be returned to government after the September 1st election. But I told a friend of mine yesterday, I said, you know what the funny thing is? Despite all of those revelations, they're still going to get votes. They're still going to get votes. The supporters in particular are going to still vote for them. Because they believe in corruption. They believe unless you could be corrupt, you're progressive. Unless you could be corrupt, you're smart. Unless you could be corrupt, you're a good business person. Yes, eh? It's some while I rubbing my hands with, man. I like the scent and I like the texture and everything. Yeah. Right? It's relaxing, you know. So trying to relax a bit for you. Yeah. So I still believe that we live in a sick country. A country of sick people, whether leadership or followers. Because I am saying that in any other democracy, there would have been a lot of resignations by now. And since a lot of the people whose names have been called in that tape are on the PPP's list of candidates to this current election, there's no coming back for the PPP. But guess what? I ain't gonna hold my breath because I want to live to a ripe old age. I want to live to a ripe old age. And we are going to see the sickness of this nation on the 1st of September. We are going to see the sickness of this nation on the 1st of September. Because despite all of that information of corruption and government ministers' involvement in corruption, they are going to get a lot of votes come September 1. I ain't said they're going to win the election, but they're going to get votes. And I'm maintaining, I'm saying, I'm repeating so you can understand. In any other democracy, where people stupid bad according to the vice president, resignations would have been happening from the next hour of the release of that tape. And the PPP would have lost popularity in Guyana And so there was no coming back after September 1st. But I ain't waiting. I ain't holding my breath. You've been given several other reasons as citizens of this country as to why the PPP must be voted out of office. The Leno Craigs and the James Bonds and the German Figueras, I want you all to listen to the tape and analyze it and see where the sole Afro-Guyanese was placed in the chain of things. He was a mere bag boy, a glorified bag boy. We like to call the youngsters who, because of the circumstances and because of all things that set up in this society, we call them scripts and we call them all kind of thing. We call them mules. We used to call them drug mules, but they got different kind of mules now. They ain't only moving drugs, they're moving guns, they're moving all kinds of illicit, but they're just that mules. And so listening to the tape, I concluded, I say, here is another black brother who a lot of us looked at and continue to look at as a successful businessman, turning out to be just another mule for the PPP. Just another mule for the PPP. And again, it highlights something else because, hear me, it is alleged. I don't know if it is true or not. It is alleged that this same brother received tremendous help from the APNU government, more specifically Harmon. It is alleged. Me, you know, I didn't mean there. It is alleged that he received tremendous help from the APNU government, more particularly from Joseph Harmon, to enhance and grow his business. But before the lights were out, he was at the feet of Ali. Well, according to the tapes, he's like a brother to Ali. So one would suspect that he was only masquerading like the Figueras and the Bonds and the rest of them. Then he's Champagne Kush Kush. Yeah. So all of you who run into the PPP and say, hey, that man nice, that man, I get in a break and so on. Check your position again. Check your position again. You are not an overseer. You're not a field slave, but you're definitely another house slave. And that is where you will always be. You might be a glorified house slave, but at the end of the day, you're a house slave. At the end of the day, you ain't got no say. You could pretend to have a say. You ain't got no say. They will simply say, I approach this man to get the ear of Ali because he and Ali like brothers. And an injustice was being done against me. And he tell me talk to them, man, but guess what? I ain't get no action because them man ain't really listening to you. That is your role in society. This is the role you want to play in this society, my black brothers and sisters. This is the kind of government you want, my black brothers and sisters, citizens of this country, Guyanese in total. This is what I want. A government where a minister could allegedly put a seize order upon a mining block, and then say, I'm going to only allow it to work if I get a cut. And so what used to be a 50-50 arrangement is now a 1/3 arrangement. Is extortion. So you have extortionists in government. We have always known that. The PPP is a government of extortionists and rapists and murderers and misogynists and child abductors and thieves. And this is y'all backing? That's what y'all backing? This is what Guyanese backing? With all that is said on that tape, I ain't got time to replay that tape because I know most, if not all of you, have seen that tape already. There's still people who talking about PPP forever and PPP back is the best government, etc., etc. Sugate wasn't enough. Sugate wasn't enough. Now we get Goldgate. Guyanese, wake up. This is not about ethnicity. This is not about race. This is about our patrimony, our national patrimony. And as usual, the ballet tyrant run out in front and say, the government is concerned. Has recognized the allegations and we're putting systems in place to combat gold smuggling, etc. Gold smuggling was within the PPP since the PPP took government in 1992 or whenever. The PPP was facilitating gold smuggling all the time. Remember them 17 gold bars or 70 gold bars, whoever the number that went to Curacao? Sarah could tell you how it got there. Sarah could tell you who the players were or are. And the role of the PPP bigwigs. What about the 40 million US? Was it or 140 million US? I'm not trying to remember these figures now. That disappeared from the Exxon audit. Wasn't it the same guy Barrett involved? Natural Resource Minister? We are waiting for see. Are you seeing daylight? And are you still waiting for matchstick and firewood for see night? The reality is that tape has revealed a whole lot more. Not that we didn't know, but it has revealed a whole lot more about how corrupt the PPP is and how the wealth of this nation is being directed, channeled, siphoned off by just the very few around the PPP circles. And so all of you, including the black bottom lickers, who gathering around the PPP and telling themselves they got something to get. The only thing you're going to get, I finding myself liking this word now. I grew up hearing it from Jack William, also known as Bambale. The only thing you're going to get is Laura. And if you don't know what Laura is, you could go and find out what Laura is. I guess you could call Mark Phillips and you can call Leno Craig because they seem to be the sex specialists in the PPP. I mean, the PPP is a set of sex specialists. Short stuff, sending females is stumped on social media, etc. Minister and former minister being accused of being serial rapists and child molesters. But they're all on the list there. They're all on the list as candidates for you to vote for. I'm sure you got confidence in rapists and child molesters and sickos. On the 1st of September. The evidence is out there, you gotta look far from it. Big man. A big man like Mark Phillips, Mark Super, Bottom Liquor, Chopity, Black Fool. God knows whatever adjective I can either use to add to describe this disgrace of a human. On a podium at a public meeting talking about people getting screwed without grease. Sex is the only language the PPP knows. From erection to resurrection, from slime up to cut up. We will screw you without grease. That is the PPP. That's the best language I know. And so I wonder where my goodly Christian friends are that supporting the PPP. Pastor Finlay, good morning. Is there a pastor in the house? Those of you over the Seventh-day Adventists, good morning. Are you hearing me? And those of you in the wider Christian community, are you hearing me? Are you hearing Mark Phillips? Are you hearing Leonard Craig? Have you checked the list? Are you telling your congregation to support these rejects? I was about to say the devil's rejects. Is that what you're telling them on your podium, on your pulpit? Are these the people you are inviting into your church to talk to your young people? Seventh-day Adventists, don't think we're not aware that not so long ago you hosted a youth camp with hundreds of the nation's young people for short stuff, for Batty Lion to go and address them. We are quite aware. So is this what you're promoting? Righteousness exalts a nation. Is that how you expect this nation to be exalted? Or is it that most of you who are considered shepherds of the flock, you're just lining up to get your 10 pieces of silver? To get your 10 pieces of silver, whether it's in the form of a mining block, a duty-free concession, a subvention here or a subvention there? Is that what the church is supposed to represent? Is that what civil society is supposed to represent? Is that what you want in a government? Well, Guyanese, you must tell them totally different. That's not what we want in a government. We want a government that can truly lift this nation out of the morass that it is in. And so far, I'm going to say to you again, because who know me know that this roster don't associate with skullduggery. Who knows me know that. I don't associate with skullduggery. And so if a boy come and whisper to me, hey, Amsterdam, there's a candidate that is EAP and you got it? They got enough rapists on it, you know. And they got enough child abductors and child molesters on it, you know. And I could suss it out for myself. I'd be gone. And so I'm saying that from where I sit, the APNU is offering you a list of people who can take this country from out of the gutters that it currently is in to a place of respect and progress once more. There's only one place you need to vote, APNU. You want to rescue Guyana, vote APNU. Don't consider anything else. Because the more you vote for APNU, the stronger a government it is you will be voting for. The more you vote for APNU, the better the chances of the APNU winning the elections and putting the PPP out of office. Any other place you put your vote, you're gambling. because you're going to reduce the chances of the APNU winning the PPP and putting them out of office. You're going to increase the chances of the PPP staying in office, because all of the other political parties and groupings out there, none from among them has the ability to put the PPP out of office. I don't care how much crowd they show you at the rallies. I don't care how much crowd they show you at the meetings. I can tell you the musical attraction might play a part. I can tell you that the giveaways might play a part in getting the crowds out there. But the test of time is on election day, the 1st of September. And I'm guaranteeing you that of all the opposition party, the group that has the most consistent, the largest block of supporters is the APNU. And so they're starting from a position of strength. What you have to do is add to that strength and build them up so that we can see the backs of the PPP. I don't care who come with other whatever other justification for whatever other political grouping. I'm going to say one thing to you. If you follow them so-called justification that you're talking about, we are going to turn up on the morning of September 1st, rubbing our eyes and blowing our nose, because we would have failed to achieve that which is necessary to save this country, and that is kicking the PPP out of office. They're on the ropes right now. I know they're on the ropes. But don't get complacent. They say don't kick a man when he's down. Stamp the PPP while they're down. Kick them out while they're down. This is your one opportunity. Because if you allow them to remain there for another 5 years, you will not recognize the Guyana that you thought you knew. You will not recognize the Guyana that you thought you knew. It's 21 minutes past 8 o'clock. I want to share something with you. In fact, I want to share a very lengthy letter with you. It has been long overdue, but I will share it with you now. It's headlined Awake. And it's written to us by a Douglas Malato. It says, emancipate yourselves from political slavery. Master days have returned, this time under floodlights. This missive seeks to bring a level of consciousness to the Guyanese society about things current based on things past. It is necessary for you as Guyanese to note that the current state of our economy relative to the access to finance has absolutely nothing to do with the government of Guyana other than a contract to receive money. Wealth from oil is a windfall, and all of it belongs to the people, citizens of Guyana. It should also be emphatically stated that there should be no quantitative comparison between the current government and any other in the history of Guyana. Cheese to chop. No other government had finance at their disposal like the current government. With the demise of the visionary LFS Barnum in August 1985 came a comprehensive economic recovery program led by Desmond Hoyt, aka Desmond Prasad, the Silver Fox. That plan saw major policy shifts in soliciting of finance from international financial institutions. The fortunes of the financial exploits by the Hoyt administration were reaped by the then Dr. Chedi Jagan administration in 1992. I always tell you all that. Desmond Hoyt and Carl Greenidge set the foundation for the PPP government in 1992 because by that time the ERP had been long far advanced and the benefits were coming to Guyana by then. Since the return to democracy, October 1992, the PPPC had embarked on an agenda to break the back of the PNC and to build the financial oligarchy. That agenda gave credence to philosophy of economic genocide to all perceived supporters, individual or groups or organizations of that political entity, while doling out the resource of the state to the oligarchs. Between 1993 and 2015, the agenda thrived. The section of the Guyanese society that was mostly affected was Afro-based, since that group was the main supporters of the PNC. The target groups were the public service, Afrocentric organizations and banks, Afro businesses and Afro communities. Victimization, marginalization, and stereotyping were the order of the day. By 2015, the target groups were so starved of financial resources that many organizations and businesses became defunct. Many citizens were relegated to miscreants. It was clear at that time that while the oppressed people had the will to fight, they were financially in a coma. Between 2015 and 2020, the AP and UFC government was expected to work as effective as Jesus, the Christ. That government was expected to correct the wickedness and mismanagement of the previous PPPC governments led by Chetty, Auntie Janet, Dr. Jagdio, Uncle Sam, and Uncle Donald. While a bold attempt was made, political blunders resulted from economically prudent pursuits. A factor that is often overlooked during that period is the fact that many of the systems that govern the functionality of agencies were institutionalized, and the people that controlled them were PPP agents by heart. Also, the PPP oligarchs would have withdrawn from investing in the economy and encouraged like-minded citizens to do so. They stopped paying their fair share of taxes, something that is relished by the PPP. That government was sabotaged from within and without, hence its demise by 2020. The PPPC returned to power in August of 2020 with much fanfare. It immediately returned to its kleptocratic ways. This time, its concubines comprised family, friends, favorites, and freaks. The ambitious plans became very elaborate when it was realized that the revenues from oil was way beyond expectation. The cooks in the ruling cabal immediately set about executing their plan to rape Guyana of her resources, natural, financial, and human, and to further corrupt her with wealth from drug trafficking. The Dr. Ali regime would have embarked on numerous developmental projects, way beyond what would have been executed under any other government, filling the pockets of its oligarchs and cronies. While the PPPC seeks to take the credit for the rapid development, it must be noted that the wealth gained has or had nothing to do with the PPPC or any other government of Ghana. What is very clear is that our financial resources are being poorly managed, squandered, and stolen, and has become weaponized. A close examination of the projects will reveal many of the following: poor conceptualization, poor culture, poor structural and aesthetic over or under designs, breaches in the procurement system, inflated cost, poor project execution and planning, very poor quality of deliverables, overpayments, payments of work never executed, abandoned projects, etc. Many projects would have been overhauled or had to do extensive corrective works. The first 4.5 years of the Dr. Irfan Ali government would have been approximately 90% of the expenditure going to the 4Fs, ensuring continued marginalization, discrimination, and economic depravity to those outside its support base. The ineptitude of the Dr. Ali administration is displayed in a few of their flagship projects, executed by His Excellency's right hand, the CH&PA, that's Central Housing and Planning Authority. The colossal failure and disintegration of the overpriced, aesthetically repulsive, and functionally concussional Heroes Highway and its sister on the west side are two examples. Our villages and towns are saddled with hundreds of miles of poorly designed, rigid, and flexible tracks presented to the people as roads. There are few community roads that allow two cars to pass each other comfortably. The masterpiece of the incompetence lies on Church Street in Georgetown, between Avenue of the Republic and Water Street. That section of road has been ripped up and repaved more than 25 times for this year already. No exaggeration here. If you want to know where the money is, just look at the utility poles and on the parapets along our major highways and along the streets in the villages. Everywhere looks like Germany. For appeal to its non-traditional base, the Dr. Ali government now walks around with a bag of state funds, luring those that are oppressed. The chant is, we will do for you what the APNU AFC did not do for you. We will give you money and contracts. Join us. The situation, in reality, is one in which the crumbs from the bag of money is now being offered to buy votes and support from the non-traditional base of the PPP. You can only get it if you join or show us your support. During the last 5 years, our vocal and knowledgeable political representatives would have highlighted the misdemeanors of the Dr. Ali government. Today, some of these reps have decided to join with that cabal in a bid for his re-election. Since the 1960s, the PPP has taught their support base to hate the PNC and never to forgive it for perceived wrongs. The PPP has maintained its rhetoric from the 1960s to its traditional support base. Drive them out. Don't forget the PNC and APNU and AFC governments. That same cabal of oppressors now come to the oppressed people and is saying to you, support us. Give Dr. Ali a chance. You must forget that yesterday they killed you must not forget that yesterday. Oh, you must forget that yesterday they killed your children, marginalized you, victimized you, and perpetrated economic genocide against you. The question is, did the PPP traditional base give the PNC, APNU, AFC governments a chance? Was Desmond Prasad given a chance in 1992? Was David Granger given a chance by those who benefited the most under his administration in 2020? King David encourages us in peculiar way in Psalm 1. King David encourages us in a peculiar way in Psalm 1. Y'all sending me to play Psalm 1. I'm going to play it too. This month, as you reminisce on the past, contemplate the future. It is not just time to eat, drink, and wear culturally. You have the power to liberate yourself from physical, mental, spiritual, and political slavery. Your vote is sacred. It is your power to destiny. It must not be squandered nor sold. It is for that very reason a particular party symbol is idolized. My encouragement to you is to beware of the slave catchers and the house slaves. To the PPP, you will always be scrapes, thugs, hooligans, low life, stupid criminals, and the like. Your vote for the PPP gives credibility to your stereotyping and worship of the god, the cup. Do not allow the few dollars they are dashing at you now to fool you. For the PPP, you can never be chief. You are a servant. They chuck her out. For those who choose the side of the oppressor, massa, what is the weight of your pieces of silver as compared to Judas's? There is still time. You can do better than Judas. Peter did. Don't sell your soul and your vote to your enemy, who is a wolf dressed in sheep's clothing. That was from a dark-skinned mulatto. And I had pleasure reading it. You're still tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. Psalm 1. Blessed is the one who does not walk in the step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers, but whose delight is in the law of the Lord, and who meditates on his law day and night. That person is like a tree planted by the streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. Not so the wicked. They are like chaff that the wind blows away. Therefore, the wicked will not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the assembly of the righteous. For the Lord watches over the way of the righteous, but the way of the wicked leads to destruction. Y'all at least heard. The lines are opened. 622-5933 is the number to call. You tune to the Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. You have 26 minutes to make your call, send your voice notes. Let us be considerate. A lot of people would want to have the opportunity to speak or to message. So keep it short, simple. Call you on. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning to Kamsamli. Now I want to make an apology. Yesterday when that caller started to talk about women, you know me, I thought he was going to say something bad. I started to type my comment and then I removed my comment. But I'm a person, I like to think. Until you call it, you know yourself, don't mind, I didn't print it, it was in thought. I started to put it out and I'm asking you to forgive me because I didn't listen out to the whole thing that you're going to see. Now with what thing, the man who brought out the letter that Kadaki read, we all know that right thinking people know what the PPP has done. And as people sit and try to expose them, I hope we could go to the polls with a clear view on who to vote for. Now with all these things that are being thrown out there in the open about the behavior of the installed regime, we know that they were no good from the start. And truth is like cork, it got to come up. We all see and we all know because when you should look into the achievements of certain persons within the PPP party, you have got to question yourself where they get this type of money to be living that exorbitant way they are living. And it got to be that something is being done under the table to enhance this type of financial explosion within them. And all cannot be right. Now with another thing that came out where this by Bailey brought out with election, it is the fact. A lot of election workers from years gone back were not allowed to work with GCOM this year because I am one and I know of many other persons who work with GCOM the years gone back. They are not being allowed to work these elections. Some of them even went up to the training. And when the training was over, it was over for them. And this is where we have got to watch to see what is going on at GCOM. And I believe that this election that is supposed to be held in a few days will not be good because they are doing so many things to disqualify people, disqualifying workers, and they will look to this.
It's blackout. Can you hear me? It's blackout. Good morning.
I must say congratulations to you and the APNU on the good works you are doing. Mr. Amsterdam, you don't know you made my day yesterday and all that days to listen to your program. We got to understand the sacrifice you are making on Benchcap, Sherrod Duncan, and the rest. Dr. David Hines, Mr. Norton, these people is making sacrifice for us, future. And if we can understand where we came from, could we realize where we want to be? No, I respect what you did yesterday. I gave you 110% mark, even though you can't get over 100. what you did yesterday. I totally agree with everything what you did yesterday. You must have respect for each other opinion. It might be in your favor, but at the end of the day, the man explained when he was there what happened. It means that when he was there, what happened wasn't right or wrong, but he gave his opinion. Okay? But it means that that was right or wrong. Coming to this now. When I heard that what the Prime Minister say on the podium Sunday, well, the Madam Craig, the remarks were they use at the rally. Mr. Kodaki, I know my hello is embarrassment to our poor parents. Is embarrassment to a future generation. Now, these guys have a family. These guys know what they're saying. These guys know what they're doing to themselves. They're embarrassing themselves and us. I don't know when, how. It'll never happen. We can understand how blessed we are. Even though we are blessed, we are ignorant of the fact of life. East Amsterdam, I know the tough road. Listen to the thing what come out. The all these gold smuggling is who up there? You see any one of us there? None. None of us there. You sure them is there. But what? When the thing get better, they start a hollow. And who support the Halloween? We should support them with the Halloween. When the Mohammeds was in bed with the PPP, it's we suffer. But what? You still running, holding your hand up to the hill, and he's a good man, you do good. It's we money you're giving you back. If he could give you 5 cars, it's only $50 million. He gave the PPP over how much hundreds of millions of these security act. You hear the man yesterday? He gave his vehicle for support of them in the other thing. When we want to hear the bulletproof vehicle, where were our government officials at the time when these things going on? Where are AFC members them when these things going on? They may see that it's another vehicle collecting from like different places. They may trace and see what's going on. Mr. Kodaki, we have a lot of work to do. Mr. Norton, Mr. Palum, you all have the ability. Mr. Dexter Todd, Mr. Daniels, Ganesh Maipal, are the whole team. Got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of trees to bend. But I know this God is a good God. And I can't just what you're saying. Even when you're praying, you got to put out your works. And I let this man you call and all the churches 7 days and all the churches they hear. Oh man, don't hold them talking about school without grease. And the man had him but direction without whatsoever it is and a woman slime up and all that kind of thing. That is a form of disrespect to the world. You're talking about your mother, you're talking about your wife, you're talking about somebody else, parent. Come on, guys. You have to get your act together. Mr. Kodaki, again, from my family to your family, I wish you well. Please, please cover yourself. Cover yourself. Let us all pray and put our hands together, put the shoulders to the wheel. 4th of September. Vote for the palm. Palm them out. See what I'm doing then? The give blackout. Imagine the disrespect and people feel like forgiving them. Still didn't understand that the people don't care about you. When they get there, they rally, everything is perfect. When you get you rally, it's just stutter and stutter and stutter. Just set the system like that. But never mind what they do, they can't stop me. Kudos to you, Mr. Kadaki. Congratulations on your work. You are doing the whole team. You can't say nothing more smart than that. Have a blessed day, but God bless you. Stay safe. Be blessed. Have a blessed day.
Thank you for your call. Let me see how this voice note will go. Thank you for staying tuned. You know it's blackout, so you ain't gonna see me. Let's see the black screen. Well, out of the way. Yaga. Dear land of Guyana. turn the bar top it, didn't Okay, I don't get the impression you were hearing that voice note. I will have to play it from my phone, and hopefully you will get to hear it. So let's go. Yeah, I declined the call twice because I was playing a voice note. Let's take his call. Call on, good morning. I y'all be a strain there. Just know. Try to work out something for you. Sure gotta go on. I had to go to the battle. We're going for some assistance.
The police gonna do and thing. You give the man a try. Y'all give you a try. The man never about 50 something years in politics any party tagging along coming through and them thing. You must got something good. Got to get something good. Got to get something good. I just got me really feeling about it with certain decisions and certain things and them kind of thing, yes. And so but don't say that you're going to because of the you can't try be honest and look at the good part of it. You look at the good part of it. What by Jack you could tell anybody but life. Yeah? These men, they're 23 years, these men spend there and come back again here and start like if this is the first time they come into politics. And we accepting them kind of nonsense now. Yeah, go cook one here, see the condition of them place. With these people cars. Go ahead.
Thank you for that call, and thank you for the call of all the report while I sort out electricity and so on and so forth. We have blackout here, so I'm still we're running off a generator right now. I usually tell you, I most times don't try to fight up with this generator thing because it's a cost. Anyways, not so long ago, I think before yesterday we had countrywide blackout. So I don't know if it is the same thing that is happening. And so I decided we're going to run the generator today. Right? We're going to run the generator today. What happens if we have blackout on elections day? Does the Simmons? And then that is the same question where we were insisting on biometrics. He said, what if they have blackout elections day? And let's speak of the devil lights are back. What happens? If you live in a country and an event as important as election is about to take place, and you like to have backup, what do? You have to ensure that you have backup systems in place. Like these are the days of solar and portable lighting and so on and so forth. For the most part, that's what you need to run the poll. Lighting, proper lighting. Right? Really, I don't know if they use computers in polling stations, right? Polling places in this country. I don't think so. Everything is hard copy, as far as I could remember. So, what happens? Not a thing as far as I'm concerned. Some people might take the opportunity to read the polling stations, right? Well, let's play this voice note from top. I started it and we weren't hearing it clearly. Let's go.
We still getting issues over. Um, it's raining now. Y'all bear with me in a minute. I'll be back shortly. It's not my fault. Things happen, and they happen quick. So it's just 9 o'clock. I know it's 9 o'clock. We are going to have to go for a few extra minutes, perhaps. I guess it's the internet. Let me see how I can fix that. It's a minute past Guyanese morning time. I am still your host. I'm still here with you. We have some voice notes that we'll have to play. How is the audio there? Can you tell me how the audio is? Are you getting better quality audio now? It's one of the things we have to always prepare for in this country. The agencies of state are not the agencies of state. The agencies of state, quite frankly, become what they argue. They become agencies of the political party. They become agencies of the political party. In that, instead of state agencies do their jobs, they take political instructions and they act according to those political instructions. And I guess it's so much so that even in the judiciary, nobody has any faith in the judiciary right now. I don't think anybody has any faith in the judiciary because, as we have seen over the last few weeks or days or months or whatever, the PPP has been lining up. It's enabled us to take charge of the judiciary. So if it is, as we say, push come to shove, you have to approach the court for righting the wrongs of the PPP, then it's going to be an uphill task. And the Guyanese want to sit back and allow that kind of status quo to remain. I don't know. I seriously don't know how we're going to fix this broken system that we have. I tell you sitting here, I don't know what the procedures are, but I think every day, and I'm the kind of person who like to speak my truth. I think every day about what needs to be done to remove some judicial officers from the bench or the positions of authority that they hold. Because I certainly believe that a lot of them, that internet, that my audio running right now, I don't think I have
control over it. It might be the internet. Not might be, definitely the internet. The internet is struck over times. We have a lot of judicial people sitting in judicial offices, but they're not doing judicial work. They're doing political work. And we have to take a stand against that. That's the reality. That's how I see it. I don't know how I see it, but that's definitely how I see it. Guyanese have to take it. There's so many things on the ballot. There's so many things on the ballot in this election. It can't be just about choosing a government, but it is about choosing a government that will fix a broken system called Guyana. It can't be just about who can give you things, but it is about who can give you systems that will make you safe and protected, and that will right the wrongs in the country that you call home. Let me play a voice note. Hopefully, please.
Kadaki, blessings and good morning, my brother. Blessings to members and listeners of the diaspora. Blessings to viewers and listeners to the four corners of the globe. Kadaki, today is a sad day. I woke up this morning and was listening to Rickford, and he interviewed Melly Mel. Karaki, Guyanese who living in Guyana in deep shit. My reason for saying that, what I heard on Rickford's show while he interviewed Melly Mel. Kakaraki, things not looking good at all for the PPP government. And as the election get closer, things will get worse. But I want to say this morning to all the PPP listeners. If all you take God out all your thoughts and put back Bharat Jagdeo, the big head rat, crapo smoke all your pipe, you know. Crapo smoke all your pipe, because this fella do have no good intent for Guyanese people. All he looking for, all he's searching for right now is political survival. Political survival. Because trust me, Aubrey Norton is the trump card in this election. Eh? Aubrey Norton is the trump card in this election. You talk all kind of manner of evil about Norton, this and Norton, that, and Norton do smile and all them kind of foolish rubbish. But then how could Norton smile and Jagdeo and them doing all these evil, stealing from the Guyanese people and skinning and grinning like, well, then he's so genuine. Karaki, all we have to do, brother, keep your fist up and continue to spread the good news. Because you, Dr. Hines, Rickford, Melly Mel, and all these other talk show hosts, all you're doing a fantastic job. I listened last night, this woman, this African woman, this Rasta woman who spoke last night. Watch me. When the coalition win, this 25 election, Guyana will be in good hands, because I've seen potential in people who speaking on the podium. This is my contribution this morning.
Listen, maybe we could say that they win, but you know what? I'm not getting the voice notes to play the way they should play. And so I'm not going to attempt to play any more voice notes. We're going to take a few more calls. It's 9 minutes past the 9 o'clock, or I can go up to maybe 9:30. So the lines are open. The lines are reopened. You can make your calls, call, and let's see what you have to say. But don't forget, while we're making this call, don't forget the dinner and dance hosted by the U.S. Regional and the PNCR in the U.S. It's August 16th, and that is Saturday, August 16th. It's going to be from 8 to 2, 8 p.m. to 2 a.m., and it is at the Grace Christian Church, 434 DeWitt Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. Right, go down there and support that fundraising event. Aubrey Norton is expected to be there, Director Finance. Ganesh Mike Paul and Professor David Hines, I understand, will also go to that event. So go down there and show your support for your candidates. Show your support for your candidates. It is 10 past the 9 o'clock hour, like I said. We have a few more minutes to take a few more calls. Leon, good morning.
Yes, good morning to you and all my black brothers and sisters in Guyana. I love to give credit where credit belongs to. My supporters, them always listen to Flash Garden when he uses word. I'm a credit going to you for what you mentioned yesterday and the way you performed yesterday. I would not put my neck on the block for you. That is number one. And I will not say that you is good. That is number two. It leaves to your family for said, my father, my husband is good. But I will say you are a nice person. I could testify to that for you anytime, anyhow, because I is the one of them that call you anytime in the night. And you always answer my call. When I call on weekend, you say, Flash, I do not talk about politics on weekend. Weekend is my day, is my time. Whenever I call you and ask you any question, you answer it to the best of your ability. And you're a fair man, you say, hey, Flat Garden, it's like this and that's it. Don't pressure me. If I call you anytime I said, I needed to do this for my mother, you say, Flash, don't take worry. Consider it done. So I will give that love outside there to you, that you are a nice person. Anybody could call upon you. Why I'm saying this? Because of what my grandmother teach me. You have to be in a building when rain fall to know that building is leaking. Or if you don't, you put yourself in trouble. And trouble take away two things from you, my grandson. Time and money, and you need both. You need your money, your time for work for your money for pay your bills. So thank you very much for what you said yesterday. It is true. Let me move on. I see a couple video, and let me say this about Mr. Paul Williams. What he was telling us, that each time no one could not get him to do anything out of a professional. What he went to school and study to become a law-abiding officer, to protect the citizens' right under the Constitution. He was saying to each time with that Jagabat Roy could not disrespect him, and he did not respect Roy. He said at the time he was police officer, there both parties will respect each other. It's nothing wrong to explain that. The man said he could go any Koliman village and people respect him. It's not that how he was joining with them for destroy black man or he was agreeing with them. No. And it is very hard for Flash Garden to listen to these people who are band-based, black men and women who stay in Guyana all the days of their life and did not run away or did not go away and encourage them, son, don't take black man Guyanese money, tax money, scholarship, and don't come back when you don't study and deliver for black people. These guys them go and study and come back and deliver, and we should be proud for no our young politician. They clean like the board of health, like Tad. Minister Brother Tad and Brother Williams. Look at them resume. We must stop band-basing these brothers and sisters, man. Some of us run away and never return back to Guyana, but now we know Guyanese. None of them tell Flash Garden America, Flash, me not go back to Guyana, get enough mosquito. Guyana water give me die. Well, Flash Garden live 65 years in the same mosquito and the same water not go home and buy and drink. It is sickness. Time like now, last before we go, let me remind my black brother and sister who live out of Guyana and running them out against those who making sacrifice and stay. Mohammed, although Mohammed got handcuffed on, he said, Ali, brother, don't live like this to brother. What's wrong with you? Jagdio responds to him and said, okay, you will have to pay the money after the election. How Jagdio know you go there in the election? Why Jagdio make you pay the money? He get all the evidence. Why you waiting till after election? Because all of them are one, and he's doing a damn good job. Because if you get 50,000 black man and 10 or 20,000 Amerindian, Jagdio said, bingo, he go stay in office. We got to stop bambasing these young politicians. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for that call. It's 16 minutes past 9 o'clock. We are still tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam. Call you on. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Morning, Kadaki. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Listen, I want to talk to the women again. My mother, you might get some granddaughter who you're raising and all these things. Tell them to hold their dignity up, man. It's just a little more time. Let them hold up. Let them bear up. Don't let them sell themselves. Sisters, don't sell yourselves. Mothers, don't sell yourself. Hold up. Bear up. Remember, if the women live in a high standard in terms of the morale, if the morale is high and they carry themselves with dignity, eventually the whole society gonna come up, gonna change, because we need you. You need us, right? Men need women, right? So we have to get ourselves straight, if you do. But don't allow yourself to be dragged here and there and all these things. Bear up just a little more, just a little more. The Lord is with us, all right? Now, don't worry with the blue party too, you know, man, because the blue party have the same tendency like the PPP. Take, for instance, look, the day when the guy with the gun and he pistol whipped the lady at the square there, at Coffee Square, right? And then when the police come for him and all of that, the night he come out and he say, done with whim. He done with whim. Nobody ain't working with Ian because, in other words, he was saying he can't throw his belly out for them, organizing thing, paying people, getting things done. And when he get in trouble, they just dash him aside. Imagine they did that, you know. They actually dash him aside. But after he came out and he talked, they pull him back in. And they bring in the women too. They bring in the woman, the same woman involved too. They carry them at the headquarters, wherever they were. And they held her there, take her phone, according to it's alleged, take her phone to try to delete the incident. And they held her there until the time passed for she to go make a report. And they convince her not to make a report and all these things. You know what I mean? But the part that I'm looking at is that they held her against her will. According to, it's alleged that she said they held her there. They didn't want her to go until she agreed to the terms and get things straightened out and all of that. That is a form of dictatorship right there. So if you are seeing something in the day, y'all don't take firewood for going to look at it in the night. There's a whole saying. You're seeing a red flag, are you talking to the nowadays people? You're seeing a red flag, walk away. In the books of Proverbs, it says, the prudent man, which means the wise man, he saw trouble and he move on. But the simple man, he stay and he get burned. You know? He say, man, that ain't nothing. So he stay and he get burned. You know, that's my piece I put in the back. I paraphrasing. So this is what I want to say. One more thing. My mind is telling me that bridge that they're building there over the Demerara River. You know, Barjak, they'll say, just listen to them, you know. Barjak, they'll say, oh, we ain't going to finish the bridge now. We're going to finish it after the election. I want to believe that money problem going on with that bridge, and that bridge might left just so because them see the AP and you going to come into government, and the AP and you going to find money for finish it. And you got so much project that they did and left halfway, or they do it substandardly, and then they expect that the AP and you got to go back and spend money to fix it. You know? And in other words, now, so the amount of money that we got to spend here, there, and everywhere, you're gonna dent our finances, so that, you know, make things more tough for the government when they come in. Anyway, if it was me, that bridge would have left just so for a while, let the whole world see. Barjak Deal project. Yeah. Anyway, good morning. I'm gone.
Six 225 is the number to call. Listen, it's 22 past the 9 o'clock hour. I'm competing with the rain. I'm competing with blackout. I'm competing with everything. Let's call it a day. Let's agree to call it a day. Y'all have a good one. We'll talk tomorrow. Tomorrow, Mr. Winston Johnny is going to be on, and Friday, of course, is Free Talk Friday. Remember to go out there, start making your plans to go out there this weekend at the Grace Christian Church at 434 DeWitt Avenue, Brooklyn, New York, and support that fundraiser. It's a fundraiser dinner and dance. It starts at 8 in the evening. Good. Go there. Aubrey Norton should be there. Gerardo Ferrans, Ganesh Maipal, and Professor David Hines. They all should be there. Have a good one. Stay good. Stay safe. Blessings. Much love. See you later.